Prelims. So first చూసుకుంటే 42 question. So in the 42 question, if you look at this, consider the following countries. దీంట్లో Bolivia, Colombia, Brazil, Ecuador and Venezuela and other country also given. అయితే దీంట్లో మెయిన్గా ఏంటంటే మనం ఎప్పుడైనా ఇలాంటి క్వశ్చన్స్ డౌట్ ఉన్నప్పుడు జనరల్గా గో విత్ ద మ్యాప్. ఓకే, గో విత్ ద మ్యాప్. అండ్ క్వశ్చన్ ఏంటి, Andes mountains passes through how many of the above countries? మనం జనరల్గా క్లాస్ చదివేటప్పుడు when we discuss about the North America, we discuss about the Rockies, we discuss about the Western Cordilleras, we discuss about the Rockies, we discuss about Broke Ranges, we discuss about Alaska, we discuss about different mountain systems, and also that is what called as a physical conditions. The physical conditions కూడా discuss చేస్తాం, plus also the economical conditions also we'll discuss. So in the South America, when we discuss about the South America, how these Andes mountains were formed, what are the significance of these Andes mountains, ఎక్కడెక్కడ స్ప్రెడ్ అయ్యాయి, ఓకే, ఏ కంట్రీస్లో స్ప్రెడ్ అయ్యాయి, ఇవన్నీ కూడా క్లాస్లో చెప్తాం. జనరల్గా ఎవరైతే క్లాస్ నోట్స్ చదివారో వాళ్ళకి ఈజీ క్వశ్చన్ ఇది. సో ఇఫ్ యూ లుక్ ఎట్ హియర్ ద మ్యాప్, దిస్ ఈస్ యువర్ South America. So Brazil comes here. Okay, Brazil comes here. But where are the Andes mountains? Andes mountains are spread like this. These are your Andes mountains. So you can eliminate Brazil. Brazil is easily eliminated. Okay. Then here you have Venezuela, right? Bolivia. Bolivia is right answer. Colombia. Paraguay, here you will have a Paraguay here ikkada untundi kabatti it is away from the Andes mountain passes through how many countries? Ecuador is correct, Venezuela is correct, Colombia is correct. So a option 1 2 3 4 ippudu chuddam. Only 2? No. Only 3? Only 4. Only 4 is a right option. So this kind of questions generally manam classroom lo mapping point discuss చేసేటప్పుడు we will discuss about the physical conditions. When we discuss about the world map separately, there is a module called as a world geography. There we will discuss about here the different concept about the mapping, like for example North America, South America, Africa, Asia, lakes, then also the climatic conditions, then also the topography of that area, etc. And also economical activities, like for example agriculture is there, what kind of agricultural activities that has been performed, we will discuss in this class. So those who have done in the classes, they know this concept easily. Okay, so let us move to the next question. So 43rd question chuddam. Okay, 43rd question em vacharu. 43rd question. So let us see this 43rd. Lake Tanganyika. Second, Lake Tonle Sap. Lake Lagoon. Okay, Lagoon. This these are the lakes. Through how many of them does the equator passes? A difficult question. Okay, it is difficult for everyone. So this type of questions are rarely comes. Better not to touch these questions in your exam. If you have answered it and if you have got right, if you have guessed, if you have got right, that's very fine. But if you have not answered it, you have left it, that is very good. Okay, why I'm saying is, so it is very difficult. Lake Tanganyika. Actually, this Lake Tanganyika comes in Africa. It is a lake, one of the largest lakes in Africa that is formed due to the Rift Valley. Okay, and there are other Rift Valley lakes also, like Lake Edward, Lake Nyasa, Lake Albert. We have already seen our classes. Like these Lake Tanganyika, it is near to the equator, but does not passes through the equator. Does not passes through this lake. It is very near to the equator. Okay, but does not passes through this lake. So this is wrong. Second lake, Lake Sap. This lake is present in Colombia. Okay, this lake. Now next lake, if you see Lagoon. This lake is present in this lake. This is in Cambodia, and this lake, this is Cambodia. And this Cambodia, actually, if you look at the map here, this is your islands of Indonesia. So here you find Cambodia, not Colombia, it is Cambodia. In Cambodia, you'll find this lake, but equator passes through only Indonesia, and Borneo Island, and Borneo Island also only through Indonesia, right? So this is wrong. This is also wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong. Next, lagoon. Lagoon is in south of Brazil, southern part of the Brazil. You will find in the southern part of the Brazil. So answer is none of the above. None of the above is the answer. So let us move to the next question. Okay, next. This turmeric board. Turmeric board is in the news in the January month. Those who have done the classes with me, they know this turmeric board. And I have clearly said in these classes about the turmeric board, which has been established. The headquarters of the turmeric board is in Nizamabad, Telangana. So here, if you look at here, India, now the statement. Consider the following statement about turmeric during the year 2022-23. Now, India is the largest producer of and exporter of turmeric in the world. Around, if you look at this turmeric board, the turmeric 70 to 80% of the turmeric which is produced in India only, of the world, is produced in India. Ante atika shatam turmeric produce ayedi India lone. That is first. And because of the excess of producing exports and exports, producer as well as the exports of the turmeric in the world. Yes, that's right. Okay, that's right. Next, more than 30 varieties of turmeric is grown in India. Actually, 37 varieties grow chestar India lo. 37 varieties India lo grow chestar. So 30, more than 30. It is asked more than 30. That is a statement right. And highly grown in Telangana, Maharashtra, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu regions. These are the regions. So if you look at here, Maharashtra on the, yes, Telangana, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu. These are the major producing turmeric producing states. Right, clear? So what is the statement now? Let us see. So let us see this 44 option. Okay, which of the above statements are right? All the above statements are right. If you look at 1, 2, 3, turmeric board, about the turmeric board, this is the correct answer. 1, 2, 3 is the right option. Then let us move to the next. Okay, now this is a concept based. See, all geography questions are geography questions are concept based questions. If you know the concept, then only you can answer it. If you do not know the concept, last time adiginattu konni factuals, of course factuals tagginchadu, concepts penchadu. Kabatti, let us see this next question. Next question is about which of the following are the evidences of phenomena of continental drift theory. Idi geomorphology lo manam first chadukune first topic idi. What is that continental drift theory? What is that continental drift theory? Alfred Wegener. He also suggested some evidences for continental drift theory. What are that evidences? First, the belt of ancient rocks from basal coast matches with those of Western Africa. Yes or no? If you look at here, this is your Brazilian coast and this is your Africa. And this is your Africa. So both the rocks of this coast and the rocks of, this coast, the Guinea, coast of Guinea, okay, Gulf of Guinea coast and this Brazilian coast, the rocks of having same age. So the belt of ancient rocks form Brazilian coast matches with those of West African coast. This is right statement. Second statement chuddam. The gold deposits of Ghana are derived from the Brazilian plateau when two continents were laid. This is called as a placer deposits. What they are called? These are placer deposits. When the river flow like this, there is a gold bearing rock. Because of this flowing of the river, there will be huge deposition that takes place. So in the coast of, in the Guinea here, Gulf of Guinea, there is a depositions of the gold. But deposition of the gold happens only when there is a river. And that river is nothing but started from Brazilian coast. That's why there is a depositions in the Africa. So statement 2 is also right. The third statement chuddam. The Gondwana system of sediments from India is known to have its counterparts in 6 different land masses of South Hemisphere. Yes or no? What are the 6 different land masses? Africa. Yes or no? Right? Then South America, all these Antarctica, all these are having 6 different land masses. So there is this statement is also right. So option enti 1, 2, 3. Option C. Option C is the right answer. Okay. Next. Now 46 chuddam. 46 student. This question is concept based question. If you have studied about the insulation, okay, the insulation and the wind system. So if you look at here, the insulation part, if you have studied insulation, then this would be very easy. ఇది చాలా ఈజీగా ఉంటుంది. Insulation చదివిన వాళ్ళకి and wind system చదివిన వాళ్ళకి. The first చూద్దాం. The amount of dust particles in the atmosphere is more in subtropical and temperate areas than the equatorial and polar regions. Why? Why the dust particles are more? Okay, first statement. Second statement, subtropical and temperate areas have less dry winds. So I'll come from the statement 2. If you look at these 0 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree, then 60 degree, then you have 90 degree. So winds which arise because of the more insulation here. Insulation is more. Insulation more. If insulation is more, temperature should be more. If temperatures are more, okay, temperatures, that is low pressure system, temperatures are more, then there will be a convection phenomena. Then there will be a rainfall occurs. So in the equatorial region, can I say that if this is an equatorial region, 0 to 10 degree, there is a dust particles. But in the equatorial region, we know that it receives very high rainfall. So if there receives very high rainfall, can I say every day 2 to 4 phenomena, 2 to 4, okay, PM. This is a time period between which heavy rainfall is received, daily rainfall phenomena. So can I say that the dust particles here, the dust particles which were there will come down because of the rainfall, where in the equatorial region. But same winds, when they are rising here, they are moving towards the 30 degree, they become cold and they sink at 30 degree. That is called subtropical high pressure belt. When they sink at this subtropical high pressure belt, they become dry. Okay, they become drier, more dry. So you will see that winds which are moving from 30 to 0 and 30 to 45, they become more dry winds. So what happens here? Subtropical and temperate areas have less dry winds, no, more dry winds. Because here we will see that there are westerlies and these are your trade winds. Yes or no? These are your anti-trade winds. So what will happen? The dry conditions will prevail. More dry conditions prevail where? In this region, that is subtropical and temperate region. So when there are more dry conditions prevail, can I say that the absence of rainfall means more dust particles accumulate here. So can I say that the amount of dust particles in the atmosphere is more subtropical and temperate region than the equatorial and polar region? Yes, true. That's true. Right. Second, subtropical and temperate regions have less dry conditions. Wrong. Just now we have seen there are more dry conditions, westerlies and trade winds. Okay, so option, this statement 2 is wrong. So what is that? Statement 1 is correct, but statement 2 is wrong. C, option C. Option C is the right answer. Okay, next. Let us move to the next one. Now, this is also concept based 47th one. If you look at the 47th one, consider the following statement. This already last time kuda adigadu, previous year's questions lo, and ippudu kuda adigadu. Same question. Okay, isotherms. They bend towards these. What are the isotherms? Actually, line joining equal temperatures. So isotherms January lo, July lo. In north hemisphere generally winters condition, and in the July month it is a summer conditions. So if you look at the map, if you look at the diagram, there is a diagram also in NCERT. A diagram em cheptundante isotherms when they are very closed. Okay, isotherms when they are very close, or isotherms line joining equal temperatures. So when the isotherms, this is the equator. This is the equator 0 degree in month of January. So where do you find more temperatures? Where do you find more temperatures? On the land or sea in January? We will find more temperatures, ఎక్కువ temperatures మనకు ఉండేది sea మీద, అంటే వాటర్ బాడీ మీద. ఎప్పుడు? జనవరిలో. ఎందుకు? అది వింటర్ సీజన్ కాబట్టి. ల్యాండ్ కూల్స్ ఫాస్టర్, హీట్స్ ఫాస్టర్. సో కాబట్టి జనవరిలో on the land, if there is a land mass, this is a land mass, and this is a land mass again. Okay, so in January month, north hemisphere, the isotherms bend towards equator, while crossing the land mass. But when they cross over the water, they move towards, again they bend, again they move like this. So in the north hemisphere, they bend towards equator in land mass, and they bend towards poles in the water body. So what is that? Polewards towards the answer is right. So in January, the air over the ocean is warmer. Yes, comparatively. Why? Because land cools faster, heats faster. Kabatti, this is also right. Then over the land masses in the north hemisphere, this is right. And this is the explanation why this. So what is an answer now? Both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct, and statement 2 explains the statement 1. This is A, option A. Option A. This is your answer. Okay, right? Then, so let us move to the next question. Okay. Now this 48 one, if you have studied about, this is an applied part of the geography, applied geomorphology. What we say, it is an applied part of the geography or applied geomorphology. What is this applied geomorphology? Most of the questions, if you look at the environment as well as the geography, they have moved from the conceptual, they are mostly focusing on applied part. UPSC has started focusing on applied part. If you look at here, this question, in the context of effect of water on rock and chalk is known as very permeable rocks, whereas clay is known as quite and impermeable and least permeable rocks. Where do you see this? In Bundelkhand region, generally. Bundelkhand, the Bagelkhand regions, as well as Malwa Plateau regions. Generally, because we study, the Bundelkhand is also known as a water-thirsty region, though it receives more than 75 centimeters of the rainfall. 75 centimeters rainfall ochina kuda, and there are two rivers which are moving in this region, and one is Ken and one is Betwa. Though, but of course, these rivers are seasonal rivers, and there is an interlinking of rivers project also. But you see, these rocks, if you look at the statement 1, in the context of effect of water on the rock, chalk is known as very permeable rock, whereas clay is quite an impermeable, least permeable rocks. Statement is right. Second statement, chalk is porous and hence can absorb water. General ga, yes, can porous and absorb water. But what is clay? Clay is not at all porous. Here, generally, we made our pots with the clay. When we buy new కొత్త కుండ కొనుక్కున్నాం అనుకో, మనం జనరల్గా ఏమంటారు, ఫస్ట్ దాంట్లో వాటర్ పోసి దాన్ని బాగా కడగాలి, ఒక రోజంతా అలానే నానబెట్టాలి. వాటర్ విల్ పర్కులేట్ బట్ వాటర్ విల్ నాట్ లీక్. అర్థమైంది అనుకుంటా. సో క్లే ఇస్ నాట్ ఎట్ ఆల్ పోరస్. రాంగ్. స్టేట్మెంట్ 3 ఈస్ కంప్లీట్లీ రాంగ్. ఓకే, సో ఇప్పుడు జనరల్గా ఆప్షన్స్ ఏంటి? వాట్ ఈస్ అన్ ఆప్షన్స్? What is an options? See, only one of the statement 2 and 3 is correct, and then that explains the statement 1. Second statement is correct. Third statement is wrong. Second statement explains the first statement. That's it. Answer. Okay. Now let us move to the next one. Now, this is a climatology question. Yes, this is a climatology 49th question. This is a climatology question, and this is very simple question also. And those who have studied, it's there in the notes also. Okay, it's very easy. Generally, when we are discussing about the formation of the atmosphere, there are 3 stages for the formation of the atmosphere: atmosphere 1, atmosphere 2, and the atmosphere 3, and upcoming atmosphere which will be removed. That is, we will be in the Anthropocene. Because of the anthropogenic activities, the present atmosphere will be removed and it will be replaced by the next atmosphere. So generally, when we are looking formation of the earth, and also when the earth formed, how the atmosphere is formed and what are the impact of that atmosphere when it was created on the earth surface, generally we discuss mana notes lo undi, adi heat budget lo undi. Okay, concept aithe మనం దీనిలో ఫస్ట్ this one we'll see. First one, without atmosphere, temperature would be well below freezing point. What is atmosphere? First of all, atmosphere is nothing but made up of gases. What the gases? What is the role? The gases of a role enti observe cheyadam. Em observe cheyadam? Gases ni observe cheyadam. So without the gases, without the atmosphere, if this is your atmosphere, without the atmosphere, what will happen? Incoming solar radiation is equal to the outgoing terrestrial radiation. That means earth will become cooler. Okay, so generally without, so freezing point where everywhere on the earth surface, that's true 100%. Okay, that's true. Second, heat absorbed and trapped by the atmosphere maintains our planet's average temperatures. ఇది మనం heat budget లో చదువుతాం. Average temperatures are been maintained. Third, atmospheric gases like carbon dioxide are particularly good observing because we know that is a global warming potential. Carbon dioxide is known for the global warming potential where we consider as 1 unit or 1. And based on that, we will discuss about the others, gases also. So statement 3 is also right. So what is an option? What is the option? 1, 2, and 3. Option C is the right option. Okay, next. Okay, let us see this next one. Okay. There are some more questions in geography. Let us discuss that also. Okay. So let us see 96. Consider the following countries. Okay. నేను క్లాస్లో చెప్పేటప్పుడు టైమ్ జోన్ చెప్పాను. I told you that the France has a highest time zone, 12. Then we have a Russia. Why I have said France? Because France okkate kaadu, but its overseas territories also. We should count the overseas territories. So France is number 1. So after that Russia, then the other countries will come. So the time zone, India has only one time zone. That in generally class will discuss chestappudu India ku 2 time zones kavalani physics laboratory in 2016 they gave the report also. So what are the pros and cons of 2 time zones in India, and how these effects, what are the impacts of the single time zone, I have discussed in the class. That's the mains perspective, but also in the prelims perspective, time zones generally latitudes, longitudes discuss chesappudu nenu cheppanu 1 degree any minutes. Okay, 1 degree equal to how many kilometers also ela measure cheyali, and also we have discussed how many time zones the different countries have. Even the Russian USA president Trump also, they have said that we need to have to change our USA time zones also. USA also have more time zones. So let us discuss how many of the above countries have more than 4 time zones. Okay, when I have seen this question, this is a controversial question. Actually, if you look at the map, if you look at the Australia website, official website, it has given there are 4 time zones. 4 time zones. Okay, 4. And in summer it comes to 3 time zones. But here the question is more than ikkada question em adigadu, more than 4 time zones. So Australia remove. Okay, that is out of boundary. Generally, if you consider UK and its territories, okay, I think UPSC has to give this answer, because if you remove Australia, okay, there are 1, 2, even New Zealand also. And then generally you have Brazil, even Brazil. Okay, only 2, and also here also there are some controversies. So actually the answer is only 2. Okay, only 2, right? Only 2. So let us see next one. Okay, this one. In Siberia, there is a person in Siberia. Actually, this question is about the international date line. Okay, international date line. If you look at this international date line, one is given about the Siberia, Nome is in Alaska. One friend is in Siberia, one is in Alaska. Actually, if you look at this area, ila untundi. General ga, this is your, and this is your Kamchatka Peninsula, and this is your Bering Strait. Bering Strait. Okay. If you have discussed this Bering Strait, generally one is in Alaska here, the other is in here, Siberia. Now, which one is having a positive date? One is ahead, one is in, one is ahead of the date. Suppose this is a 1st January. Here it will be 31st December. 1st January, 31st December. Okay, that means the one who has generally dates will change. So there will be question. Now you will see are few kilometers from each other, but when the people are waking up and getting set for the breakfast in these cities, it would be different days. Yes, of course, different days. Both are getting up at the same time, 9 a.m., 9 a.m. Okay, but the dates are different. One is in 31st December, the one is in 1st January. Here we passes through IDL, International Date Line. Okay, so statement 1 is right statement. Let us say the second statement. When it is Monday in Siberia, it is Tuesday in Nome, that is in Alaska. Monday, if it is Monday here, Monday, it should be Sunday. Alaska Sunday. But it has given Tuesday. So it is wrong. Option is, second one is wrong. So which one is a right answer? Only one is a right answer. Right, clear? So this is about your geography questions. Let us discuss next about the environment also. Thank you.